Yo, what is up guys? This is Pedro here. So in today's video, I will be giving you guys 5 free agents that the Washington football team should try to sign in the 2021 NFL offseason. If you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video, and remember, check out House of Hoodies. Use code Pedro for 15% off. They got some really nice NFL jersey hoodies. And I do know that it is early to make this video, but the reason I am making this video is because I thought it would be interesting and a lot of people were requesting it. So let's get started. So there will be 3 offensive players on this list and 2 defensive players, and I will go with 1 quarterback because we all know that is a position that is going to most likely be needed to be addressed this offseason, whether it be in the draft or in free agency. Not too many great options in free agency, but there is one in my opinion, and let's get started with him. So the number 1 option in free agency for me for quarterback position would be Dak. He's one of the only guys in free agency that I would probably go after. There's a couple others, Cam Newton, but he hasn't been playing that great. Matthew Stafford could end up being traded, so we'll see about that. But Dak Prescott, as much as some people hate him because he plays for the Cowboys, he's been a very good player for the Cowboys for a while. This year, he had 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,800 yards. That's absolutely insane in only 5 games. 2019 had almost 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He's not insanely good, but he's definitely a top 10-ish quarterback in the NFL. And he would be a great addition to this team. And I know a lot of people don't like Dak because he's on the Cowboys, but trust me, he would be a huge boost to this team. And he is by far the best available, at least for right now, available quarterback in the offseason, besides any draft options. So if there were any, if we were going to get a guy in free agency, Dak is that guy. He's a great leader, great person, and I think he would be, a good man for the job in this. And you're also taking him away from the Cowboys. And if the Cowboys don't have Dak, you see what they went from, last year from an 8-8 team to now possibly winning like 3-ish games. So he's had a huge impact on that team, and I think he would do the same around here. But sure, we would need to get some more weapons around him, because that's part of the reason why he was great, is because, he always had a great offensive line. He had Zeke. And, this last couple years, he's had a pretty good wide receiving core. But I think he would be a good addition to the team. So the next player, and, I'm only doing 1 player per position. I'm not going doubles, but this position, there's a bunch of other guys we could go for. But this one right here at wide receiver position is Allen Robinson. You guys all know receiver is one of our weakest links right now. Besides Terry, we really don't have an established wide receiver, and I think Allen Robinson would be perfect for this. You could go ahead and say that there's some other guys. Juju Smith-Schuster, Kenny Golladay, Chris Godwin. There's a lot of other guys, but I think Allen Robinson is one of the best guys out there. He has 50 catches this year in 8 games, 631 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Last year had almost 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. And he really hasn't had any great quarterback play in his career, and he's still able to produce. So I feel like he's a great complement to Terry McLaurin, because he's another outside receiver, and he's a down the field kind of deep threat. He's a big possession receiver, so I think that would be good. I would like to go after him. He would be expensive. I forgot to say it about Dak, but Dak would be expensive. If he's going to ask for 38, 39 million, then who knows? But I'm talking about Dak, but he would still be a great player to have. Same with Allen Robinson. Depends on what he's asking for, because we don't want to spend all of our money on the wide receiver position. But at the same time, Ron showed that was a concern this offseason. He paid over $20 million a year he offered for Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper declined it, but it still showed that he was willing to spend a lot of money on a position or on a player that he really wants. So we'll see if he feels that way about Allen Robinson. Going to be very interesting. I think we are going to add a receiver. Just depends on if it's a veteran wide receiver, like if it's a solid, role player veteran receiver like Kenny Stills, who is solid, but he's not an elite receiver, or a Pro Bowl wide receiver, or if we're going to go after someone like Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, Juju, the list goes on and on. Kenny Golladay. So that's it for receiver. Now we go on to one more offensive player, and it could have gone tight end here, but I'm gonna say David Bakhtiari. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but he's been a great left tackle, blindside blocker for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay ever since he was drafted in 2013. He's been very consistent. I mean, if you look at his games played, 16, 16, 14, 16, 12, 16, 16. This year he's missed like 1 or 2 games, but he's been a very healthy guy, and he's been one of the best left tackles in all of football. And, I doubt he leaves Green Bay, but if we're willing to give him enough money, I really think he would come here. And, Charles could still play left tackle, but he could also play left guard. A lot of people think he could be a better left guard than a left tackle. So if you have David Bakhtiari at left tackle, Sadiq at left guard, Chase Roullier at center, if you re-sign him, and Sheriff, and then right tackle, you got Moses. That's a pretty solid offensive line, and I would take that every day. And we'll see. I think we might address the offensive line this offseason, whether it be in a draft or in free agency, depending on how Sadiq looks for the rest of the season. Because if he doesn't play at all, because who knows, he could have another setback. If he doesn't play at all, we might end up going after another tackle in a draft or in free agency. So now into the 2 on defense, and these guys are going to be lesser known players just because our defense doesn't need many more star players. We just need to fill in at positions that we are weak at. So now, and one of those positions is safety, and we'll go with free safety first, and that is Malik Hooker from the Colts. He's played 4 years, and he has kind of battled with some injuries, but he has been pretty solid. In his rookie year, he had 3 interceptions in 7 games, was playing really well. Second year, played 14 games, stayed healthy, 2 interceptions. 2019, 13 games, had a couple interceptions, decent tackler. And, he's not elite by any means. He has the potential to be, but at the very least, he's going to be an average to above average free safety, and that's what we need at that position. We need someone who can tackle and, hold that back end down instead of having someone like Troy Apke who's playing free safety. We just need someone who's solid, and I think he can provide that for us, and I think the Colts might let him go due to his injury history. So I would go after someone like him. Now, last player on this list, and it is a linebacker. The inside linebacker / middle linebacking free agency class isn't great this offseason, but Avery Williamson, who just got traded to the Steelers, I think he would be a great fit, and I highly doubt they re-sign him, because one of the reasons why they traded for him was because Devin Bush went down. They're not going to have a lot of money, so I think he could be available. And, he's not the best in coverage, but he's a very good tackler, and, he would provide a good boost to our linebacking core, which is pretty weak right now. I think we're going to have to address the position. I really like Cole Holcomb, but we're going to have someone else besides him. So whether that be Reuben Foster, if he, continues to develop and he gets fully healthy or close to fully healthy, or that's someone in the draft or free agency, I would like to take a look at someone like Avery Williamson, a veteran linebacker that can fill in there and play pretty well. Has really never had any injury histories, only missed really 1 game in his career. So I would go, actually 2019, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he had a torn ACL, but besides that, played 16 games every year except for 2015 where he played 15. So, I mean, those are kind of the players I would like to go after. I wouldn't mind going after a quarterback in the draft, but if you were going to go after a quarterback in free agency, for me, it would be Dak Prescott. Wide receiver, Allen Robinson is my preferred, option, but you could go after, Kenny Golladay, Kenny Stills, a veteran wide receiver, solid veteran wide receiver. And then I would like to maybe adjust to offensive line, safety, and linebacker position. So let me know what of these signings you like the best and what other players you would like us to sign in free agency. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Peace.